Sit close to the hearth, boy. The salt air carries secrets of what was lost when the great surge took the land. Before the water claimed our shores, Rungholt stood rich with trade. They built high walls and great halls against the tide. Watch how the tide pulls back today. In those years, men traded silk and spice until the sea decided to claim it all. They traded their safety for wealth, building deep into the silt. Now only the ghosts of their foundations remain in the muck. When the great storm rose in the year of the flood, the bells of their church were silenced forever beneath the salt. Beneath the gray silt lies the ghost of a wealthy port, where trade moved through streets now claimed by the salt. Look here at these mounds. Each one was a home, now just a hump of earth waiting for the tide to rise. The Grote Mandränke came in the winter of 1362. It didn't just flood the land, it erased the very ground beneath our feet. They sought to build dikes to hold the sea back, but they only carved a trap for their own prosperity. Now we find the footprint of their main church, a stone foundation lying deep in the muck like a secret kept by the tide. The elders spoke of a great wealth that sat upon these very sands, where merchants traded heavy goods, and gold flowed into storehouses before the tide turned to teeth and iron. They built their walls high and wide, thinking the earth would hold them. They did not see the way the land was sagging beneath their very feet as they grew rich. Now the heavy waves move over what they left behind. In the silence of the low tide, the very ground seems to groan as it gives up its secrets to the cold air. The salt has claimed their names and their stone, leaving only these humped ridges and sunken trenches. It is a heavy weight that sits in the belly of this marsh. When the mist rolls in deep, it blankets the bones of the town. We walk upon what was once a bustling hearth, now just a ghost held in the grip of silt. My grandfather spoke of the heavy trade that once moved through these gates. Ships laden with salt and grain would dock, their hulls groaning under the weight of the world's wealth. They built thick walls to hold back the tide. They thought their stone chimneys and full granaries could withstand the hunger of the sea, building their lives in the path of the water. The warning is clear. Pride had made them believe the land was theirs to keep forever. They didn't see the ground sinking beneath their feet for decades as the salt began to claim the soil. Then came the great surge. It didn't just take their houses, it claimed the very ground they stood upon, turning prosperous earth into a drowned graveyard of stone and silt. Now, only the minerals and the mud remain. When the water retreats, the truth of what was lost stays hidden in the silt, waiting for a low tide to reveal its skeletal secrets. The people before us built deep foundations in the black earth, carving out a life of trade and stone until the great surge stole their hearts and buried their names beneath the salt. They sought to tame the coast with high dikes and deep ditches, creating a sanctuary of wealth that sat too close to the reaching claws of the North Sea's rising tide. When the waters returned in the year of the great flood, they did not just take the land. They claimed the very ground beneath our feet, turning homes into silent underwater graves. Now, the earth remembers. Every mound is a house that once stood. Every ditch is a path where neighbors walked before the salt, and the silt choked the life from the heavy clay. Listen closely when the tide fails at the coast. The ground remembers what was stolen, holding the weight of every stone and spirit that the sea tried to wash into the deep.
While the folklore speaks of a lost empire, history provides a more grounded ledger. In January 1362, a catastrophic storm surge known as the Grote Mandränke struck the region, fundamentally altering the coastline and turning habitable marshlands into the vast tidal flats seen today. This was not an overnight disappearance into the waves. For centuries, human activity, including dike construction and peat extraction, had lowered the land surface. These actions inadvertently made the coastal plains increasingly vulnerable to the surging power of the North Sea's extreme weather events. Modern geophysical surveys have uncovered the physical truth of the settlement. Beneath the sediment lies a clear pattern: 64 distinct dwelling mounds supported by an organized system of drainage ditches and a sea dike, proving that this was once a densely populated and functioning coastal community. Evidence of trade is not merely academic. The discovery of imported goods within these muddy layers confirms that Rungholt was a thriving hub of transregional commerce. It was part of a wide-reaching network, linking the local economy to distant markets across the North Sea. At the heart of this drowned landscape lies the most significant landmark, the footprint of a medieval church. Its remains stand as a stark, lonely sentinel among the mudflats, documenting both the community's presence and its ultimate reclamation by the rising tides.